Welcome to a extreme edition of Chops and Pops. I am Andy.
And I'm Andrew.
And I'm Shane. Is that 8-bit or 16-bit?
This is 16-bit.
Thought so.
This would be like Super Nintendo WrestleMania.
Or Sega? Or was
Sega.
Yeah.
Either one. Depends
it sounds
on,
like a Sonic Daniel Bryan.
It depends if you are into the blast processing or not. Anyway, so we're here. Extreme Rules is upon us. 2015, are you ready to be extreme? Because I am, if you know what I mean. Woo! That actually rhymed a lot better than I thought it was gonna.
Well done.
So this edition of Chops and Pops is a little bit different, where we're not going to do our news section necessarily. We're doing reviews of the match as we watch them, which is pretty awesome. We're going to give our chops and pops, and actually right now we're watching the pre-show, and we just watched Neville versus Bad News Barrett. And all of you Barrett fans, I'm afraid I've got some bad news, because Neville just gave him the red arrow.
It was pretty good.
Bum, bum, bum.
It was a good match.
Yeah.
It was. So, gentlemen, the things you liked and the things you didn't like about the pre-show match. Shane.
I like the fact that it at least somewhat made up for the fact that we didn't get Brian Barrett tonight, because I think the athleticism of Neville is at least along the lines of, the type of, the chemistry that Brian and Barrett would have is a little similar. Not exactly the same, but at least similar enough that you kind of still got your money's worth. You still didn't get a title match. You still didn't get to see Brian. But I think they did the best that they could given the circumstances.
Right.
Agreed.
Andrew.
The thing I liked the most about it, obviously, was every single move that Neville did. There's not one that he can do that fans would go, well, you know what, I didn't really like that. And he hits everything so fluidly. It's great. What I didn't like is that, and I guess I'm biased, but I don't like that BNB is the victim of the burying here. Great push for Neville, but I want more for BNB. Great match overall, though. It did take a good, sufficient piece of the main card.
That's the thing. If we're actually counting as chops and pops for each match, and that was my pop of the match, was just, kind of making up for it.
Right.
My chop would obviously be that we didn't get to see Brian or the title match.
Yeah, it's a shame. That's actually why I started the show today with the Daniel Bryan, video game theme. It's a shame he's hurt again. One of the things that I'm going to pop about this match is that Barrett came out and said that he was the cause of Brian not being there, which I thought works well in kind of explaining why he's not there, as opposed to just, oh no, Brian's hurt again. How long is until he comes back? And I think my only chop for the match would be that there was a pre-show match. That would have been great on the actual card, but
there isn't that many matches tonight. I think it's just a half a dozen.
Right. It is.
So I feel like it could have fit, but then again, Mania was 4 hours with 7 matches, and
maybe another Ronda Rousey bit, huh?
Oh,
actually,
nice.
According to Dana,
GSP.
that was a one-off thing, and that's not happening again.
But did you hear about GSP possibly being involved? He said he was
Really?
a huge fan as a kid, and
Yeah.
he would definitely consider the same opportunity that Ronda did.
I've heard some MMA guys tease it, especially over the past year. I didn't hear anything about GSP, and that one I would actually get pretty excited about.
Yeah.
Actually, I heard about Cain Velasquez. Possibly teasing it, and that him versus Brock and that match happening in the WWE. Seeing how they did Reigns and Lesnar at Mania, that could be something special.
Oh, you can't tease me with that.
But the pay-per-view is about to start, and there's pizza to be eaten.
There is. Let's take a short pizza break, folks, and we're going to get underway with Extreme Rules. We'll be right back here on Chops and Pops. Welcome back to Chops and Pops. God, has it been interesting over here where we record this?
Why don't you update the listeners over
Holy
what we just went
crap.
through?
You know what? I'm gonna cut the music because, god damn it, wow. Natalia looks ridiculous.
Beautiful.
So we had a power outage right at the end of the well, not the end, but kind of like the pause on the
It was a
Chicago
backstage
street fight.
Yeah, it was a backstage segment between Seth Rollins, Kane, and Triple H, and we lost power.
Yeah. And
But it's back on now.
And so I instinctively put it up. I put the network on my phone, and we were huddled around candles watching Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So
You know what, though? That's just going to make the Sheamus Ziggler match very special for years to come.
It is.
We'll remember it always for that.
I'm always going to remember that match as the match I watched around candlelight in my living room.
Especially if something crazy happened during their entrances that we're going to find out about on the internet.
Right?
Most likely.
But
so
the tag team titles are about to start. Or
Right.
the match is about to start. So, chops and pops for Sheamus Ziggler.
yeah, my chops. I watched it on my Galaxy Note screen. Yeah, it was a good match. It looked aggressive on the tiny screen. I guess it looked very back and forth. I was kind of running around lighting candles, trying to make sure everything was okay, running out to my car. I have a case of water in there just in case, we're trapped. But
Getting ready for the zombie apocalypse.
yeah. So I guess my chops would be that even though Ziggler won, he still had to kiss Sheamus's ass. Damn it. Do they really? Come on, fella. Come on.
What about your pop?
My pop? Dolph Ziggler showed his butt to people, and that's what people want. The crowd loved Dolph Ziggler's butt.
I was going to say, to wrap this up quick, unless Andrew has something different, I think we all share the same feelings. The pop of the match was Ziggler won. The chop of the match was he still kissed some arse.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we good?
We're good. So we're
Clear.
going to watch some, because the tag titles are on the line with Cesaro and Kid versus the New Day.
You suck.
So Chops and Pops fans, we'll be back after this brief match. Alright, Chops and Pops. We are back here, Chops and Pops. We are here with a review of the tag team title match between New Day and Cesaro and Kid. Now, your ears don't deceive you right now, for it is truly a new day for the tag team division, as the New Day stole the tag team titles from Cesaro and Kid.
Great match, though.
New Day.
That really was a damn good match, and yeah, you can't take anything away from anybody in that match. Everybody was hitting everything great. It was great.
I love the ending.
It was something.
Just a lot of stuff was done to perfection.
Mhm.
Kid had the one exchange where he slid in between the legs and
Oh,
stole
yeah.
a high spot from Big E and Kofi. There was the Cesaro. Well, there was a couple Cesaro moments.
Cesaro did.
But he was going
amazing
all
things.
out.
Yeah.
He was just like catching Big E midair, just like, yep, got him,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just like he was a baby, just holding him like a baby.
But it wasn't just the strength. Like, he also did the standing superplex, but he was also throwing his body around all over the place, going over the top rope. But easily my match of the night. And they're doing a promo right now with Renee Young.
There
who
they
is
are.
as bright as the sun.
Cleaning the belts.
But I do stand behind something I said off the air right before we started taping, that couldn't they have just given it to the primetime players?
Couldn't
Yes.
they?
They're such a good tag team.
God,
Better.
they're so much better with the way, like, especially with a lot of the promos they've been doing where they've just been making fun of the other tag team. I especially love when they were making fun of the Ascension, when they had like the football pads and like the paper towels like taped to them, and they were just like yelling. That was so funny.
Yeah.
I got to give props to the New Day in a special way because they have so much talent, all of them, and they're all utilizing it the right way, and they're not letting the negativity of the fans.
Oh my God, the
we
street
got
fight
the
is
street
back.
fight back.
Here they are. Luke Harper has just been thrown
He
out
throws
of
him
an
out of the back
Escalade
of the car.
in the middle of a New Day promo.
He was driving when they left.
This is the second time Dean
He
Ambrose
was
has
driving.
this is the second time that Dean Ambrose has kind of like
Off the car onto New Day.
this is the second time tonight that Dean Ambrose has kind of barged in on a Renee Young speaking opportunity.
Yeah, actually, good point.
You're trying to say something?
Is it? It would be great if this match ended towards the end of the night with them, like him just like leaning, like grabbing Renee and kissing her and being like.
I was going to say, it might go till the end of the night, though, because that was our original prediction, and it doesn't look like, even though this is cut back into the show, that this is the end of it. So.
Yeah, this is taking some time, though.
Uh-oh.
Ambrose is going somewhere.
He went a different way,
Yeah,
and
the
now
wrong
Harper is back onto the entrance ramp.
They are going back to the ring, so this might be the conclusion of the match now.
All right, so...
Should we check back in? Should we watch... Oh!
Oh, my God.
Ambrose is flying
out
from
of
the
nowhere.
sky.
Ambrose out of nowhere. So... Quick chops and pops on the tag match, Andrew.
Well, like I was saying, I just think that they're doing all the right things with the New Day. I love all the talent that they have, and they're not giving in to the negativity that the fans have been giving them, but they're using it to their advantage. Good job, New Day.
That's very positive, Andrew.
It is.
Hey, it's a New Day. And my pops, the New Day one.
That's your pop?
Really?
I gotta give him something. I'm
You're
with the
a
fans
closet
here.
New Day fan.
Get out of my house.
What about your chop and pop?
All right, so my
That's a lot of
chop is
chairs.
that New Day won, and my pop was Cesaro and Kid looking damn fantastic out there while losing.
Why are there
Cesaro
that
was
many
just hitting
chairs?
everything, and Kid, they're just truly showing how great of technicians they are in the ring.
My chop and pop is pretty much the same as yours, Andy. I'm just altering the pop a little bit to not
Right.
just give all the credit to Kid and Cesaro.
Mhm.
I think both teams just put on the match
Right.
tonight, and it's a match I already want to kind of go back and
Yeah, thank
check
God for
out.
the network. We could just... Oh, my God.
Power
Ooh.
bomb onto steel chairs.
Oh.
If you're listening to this,
Oh.
you already know what we're talking about.
Oh, my God.
That looked like it hurt.
God, Luke Harper's new thing is just powerbomb Ambrose onto anything and see what happens.
That is the formula.
That's...
Power bomb Ambrose onto anything.
It's a winning formula. It's like putting Big Mac sauce on everything. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Though some may disagree with that, actually. Oh, no. All right, well, chops and pops, we're getting kind of involved here with this match. So we'll be back right after the conclusion or the pause or whatever they're going to do with this match. So stay tuned because we'll be right back. All right, chops and pops, we are back. And it may seem like
won.
we're back right away, but we are really back right away. That match kind of came back on like a hot flash, and it was over just as fast. Holy hell.
Ambrose got a victory finally.
It's been almost a year since the last time we've seen Dean Ambrose win at a pay-per-view. I think it was Payback last year was the last time Dean Ambrose had a win on a pay-per-view, and it is so nice to see him win again. Look at the emotion in Dean Ambrose's face and the sweat and everything else, too.
You earned this, Dean.
He did it.
So chops and pops for that match. What do you think?
My, my chops for that match is that it was short. It really was a short match because they had that little bit in the beginning. They ran out, they disappeared, and then they came back out and they were in the ring for like a minute and then it was over. I wish they would have like ran out again and like I wish it would have gone throughout the entirety of the show. I think that is my real. And it wasn't as violent as I thought it was going to be. I was expecting more violence.
There were some pretty bad spots in that match, though, even if it was only like a dozen of them. Like that suplex onto the chair that collapsed.
Yeah.
All
That
the spots
power
at the
bomb?
end. Yeah,
Yeah, the power bomb
The power bomb, the flip off the top rope.
Yeah.
It sounds weird for something that has 2 segments on one pay-per-view to say that its critique would be that it's short.
Yeah.
If it's given 2 segments.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying.
I wanted more. I wanted them to like interrupt a lot of other things, like to just like
I agree.
like fight throughout the entire night. Like we'll get back to them later. I guess they're just fighting and like they go into like a random bar in Chicago and just start beating the hell out of each other. That would have been wonderful.
I think the bigger point is that we could probably watch Ambrose wrestle for like an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yes.
be entertained.
Absolutely.
Regardless.
but could his
Absolutely.
body physically endure that type of
Absolutely.
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 Yes. I've seen him do worse.
Ambrose, if he's getting tired, he'll run in the bar, grab a beer, douse himself in it, wake him right back up, do a shot of bourbon, spit it into Harper's eyes, and keep going, and that would be wonderful. So wonderful. So, Shane.
Wait, did you have a pop though?
It was great.
Oh, it was great. Okay.
My pop is Ambrose, finally getting the big V after almost a whole year.
And he'll
of
be
losing.
getting that V.
He will be getting that V. Oh, Andrew, you sly dog.
Andrew V. and your jokes.
We are laughing.
Well, your chops and pops, Mr. V.
I might be nitpicking, but the one chop I have about that match was from the first segment where they actually were originally in the ring, and it was the throw that Harper had, and it was when he had Ambrose over his shoulder, and it looked like he kind of tripped falling forward, throwing him into the turnbuckle. That might not mean anything in the long run because it was an epic match, but it wasn't. It is just something I didn't like. My pop was obviously everything that Ambrose did with his body. Oh, my personal favorite part of the match was the fact that Harper, when they left in the vehicle, was driving, and then when they arrived back, was being thrown out of the car.
Who was driving? You ever watch the Jay and Silent Bob cartoon?
Oh, the Clerks?
Yeah.
The animated series? Who was bearing? Who was driving?
Who's driving?
Bear's driving. How could that be?
Exactly.
I was thinking that when you said that.
Exactly. Shane, did you give your chops and pops?
No, I didn't.
Shane, give yours chops and pops.
You know what? I was actually kind of holding off and letting you guys go because I don't think I could come up with a chop, even though I don't think it was some sort of perfect match by any means. I just don't think there's anything in particular I would really critique about the match, even if I don't feel... I wouldn't say I'm not 100% satisfied because I definitely am happy with it. I just don't think there's anything I could pinpoint that I would critique it about. But yeah, the pop would just be that it was what I wanted it to be, or at least wanted from the match. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm happy with it, and that would be my pop, I guess.
Nice.
And I guess just getting another good Dean Ambrose singles match because it feels like it's been a while. Because I remember the Barrett match didn't impress me as much as it could have at Fastlane. At Mania, he gets a little more lost in the shuffle with 6 other guys.
Yeah.
Rumble, he was in the Rumble, so he didn't have a singles match, right? And then before that was the Bray Wyatt feud, which he lost a lot. So yeah, this was just a good way to see a good Ambrose singles match.
I think we're really just in the process right now of watching Ambrose pay his dues for what he's going to be getting sooner than later.
Right.
And in the end, we're just going to be like, yeah, he earned it, and this is part of that earning.
Right.
Yeah.
So up next, we have Rusev versus John Cena in a Russian chain match for the United States Championship. Guys, can I get a prediction for this match? Since we're finally getting into our stride, we're finally getting our times right with everything. What do you think is going to happen? Who is going to hit all 4 corners tonight?
LOL, Cena wins.
All right.
I'm saying Cena retains. I'm also going to predict that somebody catches hepatitis from using a steel chain in a wrestling match. I don't think Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine would recommend it, but hopefully that thing's clean.
Right. They look shiny. The chains look shiny around his neck right now.
I mean, I'm hoping they're a little bit more prop material while also not taking away its integrity. I think that thing probably hurts like hell, but I'm hoping that they gave it a good overlook so it doesn't have something like hep.
I hope Cena comes out with the chain around his neck to his old music.
Does. You know, I hope Rusev wins, and I hope Rusev issues the open challenge in place of Cena, and he just comes out and beats the hell out of everybody from week to week. Because I think that would be very interesting.
Okay.
Just because, you know, Rusev has really just been on a tear lately, and I mean, other than losing to John Cena, he's just a monster heel, and, you know, he should go back to winning again. I like him winning because I like the way it makes the fans react.
Well, I think he kind of has to close the door on the John Cena feud before he kind of recovers from his first loss.
Right.
Like, he's had this whole undefeated streak, and he finally lost to John Cena at Mania, And I feel like he has to close the book on this storyline, and then he can recover as that monster heel, where he dominates everybody, and then he could possibly be in line for helping Roman Reigns get over by looking like this, tough-ass heel that Roman Reigns can't conquer,
Yeah.
But I feel like Cena's going to beat him one more time, and then Rusev will move on.
As much as I want Rusev to win, I think Cena will win just so they can have a match at Payback.
And the fact that this is a United States Championship match with a non-U.S. citizen, let us take this chance to say hello to our listeners in India and the UK.
Guys.
Because
what's up?
Who in the hell on the other side of the planet is listening to us? That's kind of awesome.
Thank you, first off. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
That's a very nice thing, and we appreciate it.
I hope things are great over there.
You're probably watching this right now.
Yeah. So...
Or you watched it, and
Right.
you're listening to this podcast now.
Yeah, it's good to get a review. It's good to get a fresh take from fresh eyes. So the match is about to start. Chops and Pops fans, we will be right back.
Apple Joe!
Listen up, Chops and Pops. We're back, yo. We are back, yo, right after the Russian chain match. Can you believe that? Oh, yeah, baby. So, as you can probably hear, it does sound like John Cena won this match.
For America.
For America. God bless America. And
No place else.
I guess God bless John Cena for keeping the United States title where it belongs, in the hands of a man from the United States. Oh, yeah. Feels good.
Any chops and pops for this match?
Ooh. I actually missed, the first half. I was running around, cleaning stuff for some reason. I have this weird problem where, if there's, a lull in, a moment, I'm like, I should clean now. And I just went and cleaned, a bunch of things for no reason. So I missed the first half of the match, but it kind of... These rules, these strap match rules confuse the crap out of me. Because, as Shane was explaining to me during the match, was that you have to touch the corners without being interrupted. But we just saw all three lit up for both people in the match. And then an AA was delivered, and guess what? The lights didn't get reset, even though earlier in the match, when Rusev had 3 lit up, and then John Cena hit the AAA, it got stopped. So
the power of myth.
That's my chopping. My chopping goes to the timekeeper or whoever controls the lights and the resetting. That guy screws up. He gets all my chops, all of them.
But
Every
suspension of disbelief. It never really happened.
Here's Renee Young. Stop it.
It's Roman. Any pops for the match, Andy?
My pop for the match is just John Cena's face. Every time he makes an expression, it's gold. He kind of won and was like, kind of like a twitchy eye. It was great. He's great. If I could just get a coffee table book of just John Cena faces from matches, I think that would be so very entertaining. Why don't they have that? Why?
Or maybe even as coasters, if you just had
Imagine
John Cena
that.
faces as coasters.
Oh, and you could make it a drinking game. You could be like, how do you feel? John Cena happy, or John Cena sad, or John Cena disbelief.
And the coasters never leak any liquid onto the table because Cena is perfect.
And they'll never break, and they'll never give up.
Andrew, chops and pops.
My main chop was the pace of the match. If I'm going to be objective about it and take it for face value, the pace of that match blew like the wind. My pop.
Paint drying?
Like a Cena match. But my pop of the match, I love the hat. My
Nikki's
pop of the
hat.
match.
I like Bree's hat actually.
I don't
As I wear my
She
Bree mode.
No, Bree mode looks like Elmer Fudd right now.
Yeah.
She looks like hipster Fudd. That's the problem. It's ironic and it's trendy.
It is now.
Unlike my Bree mode headband that I'm wearing right now, which you can purchase at the WWE
showing
shop.
Your support.
Hey.
Nice plug. My pop of the match, though,
your pop.
is that it wraps up the feud, and it's done.
That is a positive. Actually, I think mine is pretty much the same as yours, Andrew. My chops, though, are kind of multiple. I do kind of chop them for the sloppy rules of the match where sometimes the rules apply, sometimes they don't. I also chop the match because I do feel like it dragged on a little bit. And even for matches I don't fully appreciate the first time I see them, I can usually tell if there's something I can pick up on later that with, multiple viewings, you see something new in it. I don't think there's anything that will ever make me like that match. So I wasn't too... it's really nothing but chops. I can't really think of a pop for Cena Rusev.
It doesn't rank with your all-time
I gotta
matches.
stop you all right now because Naomi's coming out right now to new entrance music, and her
hear
glasses are like glowing, and it's amazing.
Wow.
And she's like, she's doing that. What's that thing? That crunking. She was crunking down the aisle.
First of all, her sunglasses were badass.
Those are the best sunglasses I've ever seen.
The shutter glasses.
No, they were lights.
They were the lights.
They were lit up like green.
I think they were Kanye glasses in tribute to Chicago.
That's amazing.
But beyond that, I didn't really hear the theme song that much. But I like the new look of the sunglasses, and I didn't even notice that she had on BK Nights when she was beating up Paige in London because her green shoes are glowing.
Oh yeah, they light up.
That's awesome.
when she fought Natalia, she had light up shoes too. It's awesome.
We could have used those shoes during the blackout not too long ago.
Yeah, right.
One thing I was worried about was that they were going to keep her in the bright colors and have her with the Funk is on a Roll music. And now that she has
this works.
She has the black leather outfit with the studs. She has a new theme. I like this new Naomi.
I'm almost hoping that Naomi wins the title match right now just so I could hear her music play again, so I can hear what it sounded like.
I hope she wins because I think it would be the WWE giving an underrepresented race a chance at the top.
Hey, if a New Day can do it.
Yeah. It's a new day for heels.
Definitely. So, the Divas match is starting, so we'll be right back, Chops and Pops, with some more Chips and Pips. Hello, Chops and Pips. We are back after the Divas Championship match between Nikki Bella and Naomi. And, what a match it was. The Divas have been getting a whole lot better lately, and they were just kicking the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I was concerned that Naomi wasn't heel enough. But, she's in the black with the leather and the studs. She got new entrance music. She got some sweet kicks. I am digging Naomi. And I would love to say that I came up with this, but my wonderful girlfriend came up with this. Slayomi. How about that? That's a wonderful way to refer to her. So
it's a thing.
How about Slayomi? Hashtag that.
She looked fantastic, and those light up shoes are an amazing idea.
I'd like a pair of those.
Almost Jericho-esque, and an idea that I've thought would be great for a wrestler for a long time now. Considering BK Nights were popular back in the early '90s. So wrestlers have had a good 25 years to come up with the idea to do.
I wonder if you can customize the color.
Being the first person to, I think, is pretty awesome, and
they
look great.
I wonder if you can customize the colors because
you can.
Oh, that's awesome.
Believe me, I've looked into ordering these before, and they're actually not as expensive as you'd think. That you could even get a custom pair for $100 or less, which is really
that's not bad.
What you would pay for like a good pair of Nikes in the store. But in terms of the match, I wouldn't say it was anything super off the charts, but definitely pleasing. And in comparison, I think Nikki had a better match than John Cena tonight. Because John Cena and Rusev dragged, and the gimmick to the match wasn't anything special with the Russian chain as far as how it played out. And I felt more entertained by Nikki, Bella, and Naomi than I did Cena Rusev, if that would be considered like a pop. Actually, my pop for the match would probably be
the shoes.
That's my pop.
Can't argue that.
I think my chop for the match is that Slayomi didn't walk out the champ.
You know, I would
she
say
looked
that,
good.
but I mean, she looked good. She had her moment. I still do love Nikki. If maybe the storyline continued, especially because of the interference,
Right.
I'd be totally down for a second match, for a rematch. If I had any sort of chop of the match, it would probably just be that Brie interfered, because I thought it was a pretty good contest on its own. That interference kind of tampering with it is lame, but yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, my pop also goes to her outfit, but I liked her glasses, like the light-up glasses, and I liked the way she was like kind of crunking down the ramp. I thought that was pretty wonderful. So, Andrew, your chips and pips.
Well, my pop is the chain wrestling. I loved it in that match. I think they set a great tone, and I'm with Shane in that. I think they had a better match than Cena tonight. That's easy to say. For the amount of time they were given, there was no boring part, really. I guess my chops, I don't know, I didn't really think of any throughout that match. Just the fact that they, though the ending, I didn't like the interference. I didn't think it's justifiable in that type of match.
It didn't...
Unless it continues the story. That's really the only thing.
Well, I mean, Paige is going to be out a little bit longer to film that movie, and, you know, payback... So
yeah, like I said, I'm totally down for Naomi getting a second title shot and possibly winning the next one.
Yeah,
very nice. So up next we have Roman Reigns versus
that new up and comer is 7 foot tall.
Big Joe.
Well, he only has 10 years left on his contract. 10
Big
years.
Joe
That's not so bad, right?
Nowhere to go but down.
He's such a big man. I don't think being the world's largest athlete is like a positive thing at this point.
He's getting larger because he can't lose weight.
Yeah. All right, so this match is about to begin. So we'll be back with some more chips and pops. Keep it real. Hello, chips and pips. We are back. After the last man standing match. And let me tell you one thing. The Big Show is no longer standing. He is laying underneath a pile of announce table. And now nobody has a table. Everybody has to stand for the next 45 minutes. Those poor people.
Chops and pops?
Chops and pops for this match. You know, my chop will always go to Roman Reigns' contacts because they make me so angry and they're so distracting to me. But I guess my biggest chop would be Big Show's no tables. Just no tables tonight.
Yeah, there was a point in the match where Big Show tries putting the table back underneath the ring and fails to complete the push underneath the ring.
He just gives up, and that's wonderful. And I guess my pop would be just Roman and the Chicago crowd actually warming up to Roman Reigns. Just, it's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful. So pretty. Andrew.
Well, my favorite part of that match was the spear through the barricade. It's a close second. The spear that he jumped up the steps and through the table to end the match. But my favorite part would definitely be through the barricade. I love the dead sprint he goes into before he does it. And quickly, my chop is that Big Show was involved.
That's a good chop. That's a worthy chop.
It is. Shane, chips, peps.
My chops would probably just be that it took a little while for the match to get going. It felt like when Roman started setting up those two tables on the outside that he actually eventually ended up going through.
Yeah.
That's when the match started to pick up a little bit more, and there still was a good 5-10 minutes after that. My pop of the match is just how surprisingly good it actually was, and just I think a number of the spots in general, just basically the high spots of the last 5-10 minutes of the match across the board, between Roman getting chokeslam between the two tables, the spear through the guardrail, the table getting overturned.
Oh, yeah.
Just the idea that they took the consideration to make sure that there was plenty of high spots, knowing how slow-paced big show matches usually are. And yeah, just looks like chaos around ringside.
Look at that. I mean, really, if I had one word to describe it, I would say it would be Jesus! Because it is destroyed out there.
It is Zandig worthy.
It is Zandig worthy. You know, I'd also like to bring up something that happened in between the last two matches. We saw a backstage segment with Lana and Rusev yelling at each other, and then we see Lana going into the Authority's door. What is gonna happen with
can't be good.
Lana and the Authority?
She's a good fit, though. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's easy to picture her being amongst the Authority.
Well, Andrew, think
Gang.
of it this way. Lana, now with the Authority, maybe they'll make her wear shorter skirts. Your thoughts?
I feel like her hair is only going to get tighter.
We can dream, can't we?
We can dream. Are you guys going to submit an audition tape for Tough Enough?
Absolutely not.
You're not eating your Wheaties, taking your vitamins, saying your prayers.
If
getting
I
ready?
was in better shape, maybe.
I feel like I should do one just to see what, just to make like a mockery of it. Just to show them that there's wrestling fans out there that ain't Vince's type.
You don't fit the mold, Andrew.
I mean, I'm not saying that. Yeah, of course I don't fit the mold.
What kills me is that I'm not nearly as big as any of these guys, and it makes me so sad. I was thinking about it, like, height-wise, I'm like the size of, like, Kalisto,
Yeah.
and I'm stupid short.
Yeah, you got to put in perspective. Like, for as tall as I am, for amongst my friends in the NBA, I wouldn't even be a point guard, which is the smallest guy in the court.
It's very sad how short I am. And
I do have to point this out, though, on the air, since I said it off air. Roman Reigns is really doing a great job at proving himself with everything that people
Yes.
are doubting
Yeah.
him on.
Yes.
And that he doesn't deserve certain spots or he doesn't deserve certain matches. People, I'm one of the biggest Ambrose's fans on the planet, but people will overlook the fact that Ambrose might not steal the show on a night like tonight with Luke Harper, even if it was really cool, a lot of the stuff they did. But then a guy like Reigns, hits it out of the park with Big Show, and, people still just don't want to give him credit. But the Chicago crowd did, seem to give credit where credit's due. Bo Dallas is on now.
he's on, so we're going to call it quick here because I'm a huge Bo Dallas fan. So
And what do we have? We only have one match left, right? It's only the main event?
I think it's the main event, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All
It's
right.
almost over.
Time to Bo-leave, folks. Bo-leave. Welcome back to Chopper Plus. Welcome back. All right. So that was Extreme Rules.
And that's Andy with the widest range of a voice you've ever heard on a podcast. I think there's been about 12 different variations of the Andy intro to every segment so far.
Oh, yeah.
It's impressive.
I've
Well
got a
done.
bunch more. I could... Yeah, Kermit the Frog here. Oh, Piggy. Oh. That's probably my favorite one. I do that one all the time. I'll just be like walking down New York City and be like, why are there so many songs about rainbows?
Speaking of Kermit the Frog, Seth Rollins retained his World Heavyweight Championship.
He
Like-
did.
Like quite the heel.
He did. He did it kind of cheap. And, there was an RKO out of nowhere, though,
There was a pedigree out of nowhere.
I was hoping that it was Seth that would have done the pedigree, because now that they have banned the curb stomp, he does need a new finisher.
Yeah.
And whatever he did on Raw was garbage.
Dirty Deeds version 2.0.
I didn't like it.
The reverse scorpion death drop.
Yeah, it's not not my thing. Not my thing.
So he's 1-0 as champion.
He is.
So what about the match, though? Chops and pops.
Chops and pops. You know, I don't know. I expected a little bit more from the an Extreme Rules match. And you know what really bothered me? The superplex off the top of the cage did not get a replay.
Oh, yeah, even at the end of the match, you
No.
didn't get to see that.
I
again.
didn't. I had looked away and missed it, and
It was great.
I guess I'm never gonna see it ever.
that definitely was one of the high points of the match.
It's
Gun to my head, I say the Mania match was better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say I was disappointed with this main event. Expectations were high, and I mean, Rollins had to walk out in some sort of slimy fashion.
right.
So,
He couldn't just win outright.
right.
As good a way as any. I think my chop would be the amount of time it took for them to get going in that match. Not that the pace was bad, I just didn't like how long it took. And I also think that this would have been a perfect opportunity to start a Kane versus Rollins feud. I didn't see another reason to extend Orton Rollins.
I think rumor has it is that Kane will be fighting Reigns in the near future, which everybody likes the big red monster.
Not. But I think if I had a pop of the match, it would be Orton doing the pedigree. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Chop would just be not fully meeting expectations. Again, even backing it up with saying, I wouldn't say I was angry with the match or anything. I just think it could have been a little more. Since we are wrapping up the show, though, do we have a chop and pop of the entire show? Favorite moment, least favorite moment of the last 3 hours?
Yeah. You know, I'll start it off. I gotta say, my chop of the show was the Ryback Bo Dallas
Yeah, that was
filler.
kind of a waste of time.
Straight
I'm
What
not
a waste of time.
We
I'm
didn't
not
go
a
over
fan
that,
of
but-
filler as it is, but that was a waste.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm happy in a way that Bo Dallas is starting to just be alive again, because he's just been gone for so long. But why? What, just have him come out, make a couple jokes at the expense of Chicago, and then have Ryback come in and be the hero?
That's usually how it goes.
I don't know.
That's exactly what happened with Sting. I think it aired on the network. It wasn't on the end of Raw, but the Raw in California, in San Jose.
Right after the Raw.
Yeah, Bo Dallas just said a couple jokes and got Scorpion Death dropped
Yeah.
by Sting. I think a pop of the night would either be Naomi's shoes
Oh, those shoes were great.
or just that tag team match. I
Yeah.
definitely think Kid
Yeah.
Cesaro against New Day was the
was gonna
match of the
mention that.
night.
And to think that was going to be a pre-show match.
Yeah.
You almost want to thank Daniel Bryan for being hurt, for having that moved on to the actual event card. But then again,
I hope he's all right.
I hope Daniel Bryan is okay, because I love the heck out of that bearded fellow.
Yeah, so I'd say if pops were anything, it would probably be Cena Rusev or Chops.
Yeah.
Chops would be Cena Rusev.
Cena Rusev
for
wasn't
boring
so
me.
hot.
And pops are Naomi's shoes or the tag match. What about you guys?
Yeah. I think my chop is still the Bo Dallas
Filler.
filler crap.
Yeah, yeah.
I think my pop goes to Roman Reigns throwing that damn table on top of Big Show. Just that look on his face, and just he was very intense this match, and I think that's what Roman needs, and I like that. I'm
Yeah.
not necessarily part of the Roman Empire, but I don't hate Roman Reigns. I don't think I've ever hated Roman Reigns. I just never understood him, I guess. And the past couple pay-per-views, Fastlane, Mania, I'm starting to understand the character of
Yes.
Roman Reigns, and I like it. I like what I see, and I hope he just gets better in promos and just speaking. I hope he sounds less like scripted and more like an actual person.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
I think the views you just expressed are actually what the E was looking to get from a lot of fans with what they just put on for Roman tonight. I was going to say that was also my pop of the night, was the way he finished that match and how he finished it with the crowd behind him.
Right.
I'm going to switch it and say that the New Day's ending, I didn't think I would be saying this at the beginning of the night, but the way they handled that match, again, was the highlight of the night. I love the different type of creative things that they did throughout the night. And with that being said, the way that the cage match went with the, like Shane said, the way the
the
lock
spike
was
for
set
the
up.
door hand. I don't think I said that on the air. So the spike holding the door latch shut, I believe, was actually a rib on Seth Rollins, who some people probably remember. It was probably like 4 or 5 months ago. Seth Rollins almost died when a steel cage was being lowered down to the ring because one of the spikes on the bottom of the cage that locks the cage into place almost impaled him. So steel cage door has never been handled that way or locked that way before. And if you notice, Kane was unlocking like a mini little spike to unlatch the door.
I like that. I like that stipulation. It kind of reinvented it a little bit. My chop of the night, though, was the blackout.
Oh God!
Yeah. Losing
Yeah,
power
we
and
lost
almost
power.
missing this pay-per-view was pretty chop.
You
But
know, and
worthy.
because of that blackout, I feel like I really didn't watch the Ziggler,
Sheamus.
Sheamus match, and I feel like I might. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna have a change of opinion about my pop, but I don't know. Maybe my chop will be in that match, just because
be.
I'm
Probably would've
angry that Dolph Ziggler got the win, but he still kissed ass.
Arse.
Arse, right, fella?
But
If you add an R, it's PG.
Is it? Is
Get it?
though?
RPG. Get it?
RPG? So we're playing video games like my favorite.
Jesus!
Not.
Speaking of Jesus, John Moxley and Brody Lee are getting replayed already on the network.
Already.
So is that it? That's Extreme Rules?
That's Extreme Rules, yeah. I
What-
mean,
what grade would you guys give this pay-per-view? First one of the season, so to speak.
yeah.
That's tough.
I don't know. I might give it a B minus.
I like the optimism there. I think a B, a solid B, a B plus.
I give
Obviously, there are a lot of things they could have done better, but for taking it at face value, the matches exceeded expectations in a lot of ways.
What about you, Shane?
I'll say this. It's difficult for me to use the grade system,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll put it to you this way. Extreme Rules is the 4th pay-per-view of 2015.
Right.
Out of the 4 pay-per-views, including Extreme Rules, I would rank it 3rd. But I'd follow that up by saying I actually was very pleased with this. So it would be 3rd on my list out of 4, which ranks it very low.
That's just above Royal Rumble.
Yeah, Royal
Yeah.
Rumble is
Yeah.
definitely the worst pay-per-view of the year. I think
But-
Fastlane overall as an entire show was a little bit better than tonight,
Uh-huh.
but that by no means
Yeah.
means I'm being critical or cynical or think that Extreme Rules sucked. I
w-
was happy with it. I'll probably watch it again one more time,
Mm-hmm.
but it ranks as number 3 out of the 4 of the year.
I was going to say you probably would say it's closer to number 2 than it is number 4.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it to show
Yeah.
that I still appreciated tonight, but Mania and Fastlane I think rank a little higher.
See, I would rank this 2 over Fastlane. As much as I like the Bryan Reigns match, I feel like Fastlane was kind of boring to me.
You know, the one thing that would make me consider Extreme Rules a little bit higher than Fastlane would be, one, Dean Ambrose having a better match here than he did at Fastlane.
Right.
Yeah.
And even though the tag team match was the match of the night for Fastlane as well,
Uh-huh.
which just shows how good Kid and Cesaro are,
Yep.
I almost feel like this was better, the New Day match, as opposed to the Uso match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this was better because I feel like the Usos have kind of become predictable. Like, they're going to do the same things every time. It's like, oh, there they go. There
No,
they
Flying
go.
I-
doing it
Usos.
again.
I see what you're saying. I think it's the rest of the card that would have me rank Fastlane a little higher.
Mhm.
But those two factors, Ambrose and the tag team titles
Yeah.
were definitely showcased better here.
One
than they
thing
were
I
at
want to say
Fastlane.
about this card made me realize is that the WWE is not as top-heavy as it used to be. I think the talent is spread out more, and we're seeing guys in the tag division even a little bit higher up putting on good matches and getting the right reactions from the crowd, whereas it always used to be Cena and whoever he's facing making you watch the entire thing. Like,
That was a big reason of why I actually thought that the Mania matches all being under 20 minutes was a good thing. Because I feel like they're putting everything on an equal playing field now. And the main event
Yes.
will always still be at least like 2 to 4 minutes longer. But if everything on the card is about a good 15 minutes, everybody's getting their shot and everybody's getting their chance.
oh,
And
yeah.
as long as they can pull their weight, that makes it work. If you
Yes.
give, I hate to throw people under the bus like this, but if you give like Layla a Divas match for the title and you give her 15 minutes, people are going to fall asleep.
You're going to get...
But if you have people the caliber of, Nikki Bella, of Naomi, Paige, everybody that's been killing it, you give them, a good handful of time and they can do something with it.
Agreed.
But is that pretty much everything? Is that...
Yeah, watching this replay, who's this asshole in the crowd that keeps flashing a light every time they cut the shot?
I have no
Watching
idea.
this every time they cut to this one shot, there's this guy right above there. There's this guy in a gray and black shirt. Every time they cut, when it was a wider angle, he takes out his phone or something and just flashes like a white light like this. Like he did it like 4 or 5 times. There he is. Fucking
okay.
that guy again. Again.
For those of you listening at home that have no idea what Andy's talking about, they're replaying the Ambrose-Luke Harper match, the first match of the pay-per-view. And, it's about a good couple of minutes into the match, and there's somebody middle of the crowd, right directly across from the camera, who just annoyingly keeps turning on their flashlight on their cell phone and waving it back and forth and shining it straight in front of the camera.
What a
I'm
But
sure he was
dick.
escorted out of the building.
He
I'm
gets
sure.
the chop of the night.
Okay,
That
chop of the
guy's a
night to
dick.
flashlight guy.
That guy's a dick.
Are we good here?
I think we're good here.
Think
So
just about does it.
thank you guys for listening to us. You're listening to us on our YouTube channel. If you like what you hear, please go down and hit that subscribe button because
For every subscriber, Andy's pitch of volume goes to a different range,
it does.
and an angel gets its wings.
At least 2 pairs of wings. If you're lucky, you get 3 or 4. So many wings. So please hit the subscribe button. Listen to us. Listen to our past episodes. Give us a chance.
Leave some comments.
Yeah, let us know what you like. Give us a thumbs up. Like us. If you don't like us, hit us with a thumbs down and tell us what you don't like, and we'll make it better. Because we love constructive criticism. Don't be dicks, though.
That's a great way to end the entire show. Don't be dicks.
Don't be
Thank you for
dicks.
listening to the Extreme Rules edition.
And remember,
Chops and Pops podcast. Don't be dicks.
Don't be dicks.
remember, guys, just give Emma a chance.
So, I am Andy. You can check me out on social media at YDNAGIACCONE. I tweet some stuff. Check it out.
I'm Andrew. I'm not going to share my social networking other than our beautiful YouTube channel.
I thought you were going to say I'm not going to share my social security number. I'm like, well, of course.
Well, you shouldn't.
Not yet. I haven't gotten to know you guys that good.
Very nice.
And I'm Shane. And we'll
So-
be back again Sunday night like always.
We will.
And I'll probably have that music video done that I promised because I'm almost done of
Very
a
nice.
bunch of Mania clips. And you can see what it's like to drive across the country and experience access and all that fun stuff the Mania package gives you.
I personally
Very nice.
can't wait.
I look forward
Yeah.
to that.
It's actually kind of interesting.
Which you can check out on this YouTube channel.
Ta-da!
Wow. It's amazing. So, from all of us here at Chops and Pops, have a great day and stay extreme.
Peace out.